Hey guys, it's been a while, and I do apologize. Life gets in the way, and just a really busy person right now. So it's actually, like 3 a.m., and I'm making this video. I want to talk about the deck I'm playing currently. It is Chaos Dragons, and I didn't realize when I was building this that it was going to be the flavor of the month. Like, I went to my locals twice this week, and like 50% of the people that were playing were playing this deck, I swear. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Everyone's playing this deck right now, and it's because it's good. Tour guides are now affordable, and I can't really blame them. But with that, I see a lot of people misplaying this card, and I like to cater to more of the average player. So a lot of you average players may not know exactly what missing the timing is. Missing the timing didn't really apply too much last format. We had cards like Reborn Tengu that couldn't miss the timing with their effects. But Light Pulsar Dragon, his last effect starts with the word when, and that's really the most important thing. It says when. If it said if, it could not miss the timing. Since it says when, the last thing that happened has to be this card being sent to the graveyard. Now, if you didn't know, once this card is sent to the graveyard, it can special summon a level 5 or higher Dark Dragon type. Now, and that effect does target, by the way. So, the last thing that happens has to be this being sent to the graveyard. So if I were to take this card and attack into a Raikou would flip up, destroy this card, and then mill 3 cards. Last thing that happened was the milling of the 3 cards. Light Pulsar Dragon's effect does not activate because it missed the timing. Okay? My opponent uses a card called Soul Taker, which is now being used against this deck for this very reason, on my Light Pulsar Dragon. It destroys my Light Pulsar Dragon, I gain 1,000 life points, but the last thing that happened was me gaining the 1,000 life points. Light Pulsar Dragon does not activate. These same tricks work on a card called Elemental Hero the Shining. You've probably heard of it. And that's another card that can miss the timing. Other examples of missing the timing is, if you've ever seen someone playing a Gear Town deck, and they have a Gear Town face up on the field, and then they play another Gear Town over it and face up and destroy their old one. Now, I know this is very specific, but if someone plays a face-up Gear Town over a Gear Town, they don't get the special summon effect of that Gear Town in the graveyard, because it's another effect that says when. So the last thing that happened was not the Gear Town being destroyed and sent to the graveyard. The last thing that happened was the face-up activating Gear Town. That's why when people who know what they're doing are playing over a Gear Town already, they'll set it, because then that face-up field spell will not activate, because obviously it was set face down. This card will still be sent, and you will get the special summon of the Ancient Kirkatron Dragon. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Next thing was Dark Flare Dragon. Now this card, mixed with this card, it's kind of a ruling's nightmare. But what I'm seeing people try to do is they'll take their Dark Flare Dragon, activates effect, sending Eclipse Wyvern and Light Pulsar, and then they'll try to remove their Red Eyes Darkness Metal with Eclipse Wyvern, and then use Dark Flare's effect to remove, what's the last part of its effect is to remove from either player's graveyard, remove this Eclipse Wyvern, and then get this back to their hand. Now, Eclipse Wyvern cannot miss the timing, so it's going to remove. The problem is that Eclipse Wyvern does not fully resolve at the point of the removal of with Dark Flare. So while you could remove your Eclipse Wyvern, it has not fully resolved, and you could not add this card to your hand because it technically shouldn't be there yet. If that makes sense. So let me go through that full speed. Dark Flare Dragon, we'll send our Eclipse Wyvern and our Light Pulsar. What people are trying to do is remove this Red Eyes Darkness Metal with Eclipse Wyvern, then use Dark Flare Dragon's effect to remove Eclipse Wyvern and get Red Eyes Darkness Metal to their hand. Happens all the time. All the time. And it's really a confusing ruling how it resolves and what goes first. When does this actually get removed? I'm just trying to tell you that you don't get it here. And that's the way it's properly ruled. Now, I actually have a question for you. Hopefully there are some people who play this deck who have experience with it. Exabeetle, as well as the Chaos Dragon players use, will say it's equipped with that Light Pulsar Dragon. And I'm not asking if Exabeetle sends this if it gets its effect. Say I sent a different card. Say I sent Sengen. But I needed a higher attacking card for the next part of what I'm trying to do. So I play my Gaia Drake over my Exabeetle. This card is then destroyed by game mechanics and sent to the graveyard. Now, I would think that the effect activates, but I can also see how it would somewhat miss the timing because it all depends on which point this actually becomes Gaia Drake. I know it's kind of confusing. If it becomes Gaia Drake, and since it's Gaia Drake, it goes to the graveyard, then I would see its effect activating. Now, if it's kind of like a tribute summon, and as soon as as this summon attempts to go, this gets removed, the last thing that would be this face-up monster resolving, thus this would miss its timing, I believe. Now, I'm asking for y'all's opinion on what actually happens here. So again, Light Pulsar is equipped to Exabeetle. I'm playing Gaia Drake over it. Light Pulsar is destroyed by game mechanics with this happening because it can no longer be equipped to Exabeetle. Does Light Pulsar get its effect? That's a question for you. The way I've been hearing it ruled is that it does not. So again, Light Pulsar on Exabeetle, play Gaia Dragon, Thunder Charger over Exabeetle. By game mechanics, Light Pulsar goes to the graveyard. I can see both ways really here, so I'd love to hear y'all's opinions on what goes on. My deck list here, I don't know if I already said, it has very small differentiations from the YCS Philly build, so there's no real reason to show that. I'll show the extra deck. I'm not sure what the YCS Philly deck played in their extra, but it was probably something like this. Exabeetle, Gaia Dragon, Leviathan, Livier, Wind Up Zenmaines, 5-Headed Dragon, Brilliance, Acid Golem. This guy. Tell me if I'm stupid for doing this. I'm playing this instead of a Utopia. He gets by all those monsters that cannot be destroyed by battle. He flips them face up in attack mode, then you just poke for game, all into that same monster. So I'm not using Utopia. So if you see another card I should drop in favor of Utopia, please let me know, because it was actually something I was debating earlier today. Armory Arm, so I can go into Armory Arm and BLS. I actually got it to go off once. It's beautiful when it happens. Catastor, Brianak, Arcanite, Ancient Secret Wyvern, and Black Rose. That's the extra deck. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will hopefully be putting up more videos. I am trying to move into a new place with my girlfriend, so obviously there'll be a lapse in my internet time. I'll have to actually do the physical moving, and I'm working full time while doing this, so bear with me, guys. I do plan on being here for you. It's just a little hard right now, so good luck.